highest compliment I believe that a leader can ever receive is to know that they're no longer needed.
Beat that. Love that. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today I have a special guest, Kym Huynh, who is a member of EO, or it is an entrepreneur organization that I joined. But we had a few things in common. One is he's Vietnamese. He was from Melbourne, and he's an entrepreneur who's lived and breathed the journey. And I wanted to pick his brain. And then I thought, well, I'll record it because then we can all learn from him, because he too runs an online business. So of course, as you can see, there's so much similarities or synergies that I wanted to talk to you more about, your journey and, where you are today as well. So Kym, introduce a little bit about yourself to the audience.
Hi, pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me here today. I love this idea of leadership and business and how we can use business as a tool to take us to where we want to go in life and to build the life that we want and to build the life of our dreams. And
tell me about your main business, because I know that's occupied a big chunk of your life. Yes. WeTeachMe, what is it, and how did you come up with the idea in the first place?
WeTeachMe marketplace essentially for real life classes and workshops.
Okay.
So think pottery classes, think cooking classes, painting classes, you name it, we got it. We list classes all around Australia and New Zealand. And that really came about because of an idea that my family instilled in me. You can lose everything in life, but you'll never lose your knowledge and your learning. You can always start again. And so WeTeachMe was really an homage to that idea. It's about, okay, well, learning, education, how can we disseminate as much knowledge as we can into the community, workshops and classes. And of course, if you're a teacher, really, you become the bottleneck, right?
Yeah.
You can only teach so many people. You've only got so many hours in the day. And so we thought, okay, well, what if we created a platform and then we democratized learning, give the tools to people to teach whatever they want, anytime they want, make money from it, make a great side income from it. And so that's what we did.
So explain to me, how is it similar to maybe Udemy? Because when I'm thinking about teaching online, how's it different to Udemy and Skillshare or something like that that's around at the moment?
Yeah,
is that
absolutely.
Similar? Or
they're very similar.
Okay,
so the classes and workshops can be in person in real life. So I could say, hey, I want to learn how to create a podcast. And then I'll go onto WeTeachMe.com. I'll search for podcasting classes. I'll see your profile appear. When do you teach? How much do you charge? How many weeks do you teach? Or do you, is it a once-off workshop?
So it might be offline and in person, not just online like Udemy or something, which could be like kind of the typical online courses.
Yeah. We really hung our hat on this idea that people want to be face-to-face, because this was during the whole own experiences. And then now we've offered online classes as well.
Okay. So how long ago was that? And has it given you the lifestyle that you wanted when you first started? What was that dream when you first started?
It's funny when I share the story about WeTeachMe, I share the story about watching The Social Network, which is the movie about Facebook and Mark Zuckerberg.
Yes.
And I remember watching it with my best friend, who was my co-founder.
Yeah.
And we said, look what Mark built in 2 hours. Imagine what we can build if we had a year to prepare. When I started the business, what I wanted was freedom. I wanted to own my hours. I wanted to travel anywhere I wanted. I wanted to meet people, interesting people living extraordinary lives. And when I think about what my business or WeTeachMe has enabled for me, it was a masterclass in business education, business learning.
Yep.
Now, all these lessons that I'm sure you experienced as well, you can't learn that in the classroom. Go to seminars, you can have people share them with you, but there's something about living the experience.
Yes, skins in the game, the real hustle is real, yes.
You're awake at 3 o'clock in the morning with an anxiety attack. People say it's the hardest thing that you'll experience. And at the time, I'm like, yeah, sure, okay, whatever. But it really is. It's really hard.
Yeah.
And I don't think any amount of preparation or talking to people or classes or workshops can prepare you for what it's really like to start and grow a business.
Okay, so originally you started for freedom. What would you say, how many years later did you feel like, I finally kind of got my business to the point where I feel the freedom and I can sleep at night a bit better?
Oh, I don't know if you ever really sleep at night better. I saw this interesting meme this morning, and it had a picture of a glass jar, and inside it was a ball, and the ball represents the struggles and the problems and the headaches and the stresses that you have in life or in business. And it said that the mistake that most people make is they assume this ball shrinks over time. But actually what happens is that the jar grows bigger.
Yeah. Life doesn't get easier. You get bigger problems to deal with. That's what Tony Robbins told me.
You get bigger problems to deal with, and as your business grows, you just add more zeros to the consequences of the problems. But they don't disappear, right? People think they disappear. No, they don't. You just become better at dealing with the problems and knowing how to handle them and who to call and who are the experts that you need to talk to. So my business, I said freedom. And I didn't want to have a boss, but in reality, all my customers became my bosses, right?
You're so right. We do. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And
report to our clients, our staff.
Oh
yes.
God. Instead of working 9 to 5, it was working 6 to 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yes. Right. But when you're so passionate about it, you would never do that for an employer, right? Like hard to differentiate when you're actually working and when you're like playing. Because like I always find myself, I might be on social media, but I'm looking at a different lens. I'm actually observing things and trying to think about how do I grow my business. But it might look to others that I'm playing around, but I'm not playing. I'm still working. How did you, I guess, during that time, had any life while you're working so many hours back then?
Oh my God, it was so hard. You tell me, how do you have a life? If you figure out the secret, please tell me.
I think I've always been greedy with, I want it all. So what I do is I end up waking up earlier. Nowadays I wake up at 3 a.m. I'm able to fit in things, anything that's important in my life. I make sure I have it. It looks like it's hard work for people, but once you get into the schedule and the result of it, the reward of it, you know, how good you feel when you've got on top of your schedules or you exercise. It's addictive. It's
interesting. I had this conversation with my assistant last month. Every month we go through an end of month reflection just to see what worked, what didn't work, what can we do better, how can we make each other's lives easier, are the things that we're doing contributing to the life that we want to create. And one of the feedback pieces we had was this idea that, okay, July was an interesting month. We had a lot of activity. We did a lot of things, but we felt like we didn't significantly move the needle in any particular area. And so we sat down, myself and my assistant, and we just looked through every single meeting we had, every coffee we had, every task that we completed. And one of the things that we realized was that we were doing a lot of work, but we weren't prioritizing our priorities. Right? And so for August, we said, in August, we're going to do something different. We're going to prioritize our priorities. So we're going to get crystal clear clarity on what's really important to us. And then we're going to schedule it all in the calendar. Right? And when I reflect on August, where we're almost done with August, right? It's been our best month in the last 2 years.
That's right. So when you're prioritizing with your team member at work, is it just business focus, or is it also you care a lot about other parts of your life?
You tell me, what do you think the answer is?
Well, I'm thinking it's the other. I don't know. I mean,
what do you think
when I'm planning for myself, I have different areas of my life that I focus on. But I guess when I'm working with someone in the company, we're prioritizing whatever activities within the business. So I don't know. Is it different to you?
You know, people always say my team are my best asset. My culture is my best asset.
Yeah.
They say it, but it's very easy to say, but really hard to live right? And so one thing which I like to do with my team is this idea that, okay, if you come work with me, working with me will be a vehicle to creating the life that you want to live.
Yes.
And so when we think about priorities, I think about, okay, well, what are your goals in work? What are your goals in family? What are your goals in life? And what are your goals in your community?
Yeah.
And I'm going to make sure that when you come work with me, that you take significant advances in all those other areas of your life too. And I think that's what breeds loyalty, what breeds love. Right?
Yeah. So you're saying that you are having that conversation around what are your life's priority
100%.
And are we moving together in that needle?
Yeah,
okay. Well,
100%.
it's something to learn from me because I think, okay, so what happened is I used to do that with my team members. But when I stepped out, because I've scaled my goal is to remove myself from the business, I have to run it. But I have a really strong relationship with the managing director and a few key managers. Yeah. And yet I thought, well, I don't have to do that anymore because they're now dealing with the team. But like, I feel like maybe I'm just taking for granted that they're always going to be here. Oh God. So here, that's why they say like, sometimes you forget to do the very thing that got you to where you
Oh
are.
my God. You know, they say, I like to use the analogy of culture, but they say you always have a culture, right? Do you have a culture by intent and design, or do you have a culture by default? And so when I think of loyalty and love, I think, do you have love by intent and design, or do you have it by default? And so one little trick I like to do with all my team members is I like to ask them, what are your top 3 goals in life? Right? I have a list. And I do this not only with my team members, but I do this with my family. I do this with my friends. And then I just have that list there. And if I can in some way contribute to making one of those things happen, I'll do it.
Yeah, so surprisingly, a few months ago, I said to them, hey, as an exercise together, we're going to write our dreams list. So you can write down like ridiculous dreams or whatever. But I actually haven't got a plan of how to reflect on it, how to make it work yet. You know, there was one dream in there that was really silly. There was a girl that said she wants to be a mermaid. That was a silly dream.
That can make...
We did it. So because it was so easy and cheap, we end up... I already knew that I've already seen a costume because my daughter got sent mermaid costume before, literally the tail. So I messaged my other staff and said, hey, Google up, you know, a tail. And we sent it to her in the Philippines, this tail, and she had a good laugh. And yeah, but I guess it's like, how do you be mindful and go back to focusing on those dreams and goals for your team and not go, oops, forgotten, life got in the way.
Yeah. You know, I also think that a lot of these tools and frameworks that we learn don't have to apply just in the arena that we learn them in. They're applicable across the board. So the tools that you use for your life, you can use it in your work, you can use it in your family. 100%. Tell me about your dream list. I want to know more about this dream list. I need to know more.
No. So as a team, we really...
What's on your dream list?
So in the dreams list, all we did was we really created an Excel spreadsheet with columns of everyone's name and listed all down. And it's transparent. That means everyone can see each other's dreams. And
Are
you can
columns of consistent width and formatting?
No.
Okay.
And then you can already see a pattern of some people having the same dream. So I got this idea from Mind Valley, Vishen Lakhani. I think he did that with his own company. And, you know, back in my mind, long time ago, I heard of it and I said, oh, this could be a good idea. And now we can see a pattern of some people actually have the same dream as you. So imagine you coming together and organize that dream.
I love that.
And do it like you all want to do bungee jumping, then now you can do bungee jumping together.
What was the most memorable dream from memory?
Well, I think it was the mermaid one was silly. Only because like, why would you want to be a mermaid?
Why wouldn't you want to be a mermaid?
But yeah, of course, there's a lot of dreams around giving back, around how do I give back to my parents and let them, you know, have a good life, a holiday or a car. And I would say that I've been able to do that. And I'm curious to hear about you. Now that you've been in business for so long, what are some of the great things that you've been able to do that's memorable as well, you know, not just for yourself, but for your family?
Well, one, I haven't been in business that long. I'm a baby business person. Like I've only been in business for 15 years.
Only. That is a long time. That's longer than me. If you compare to someone longer, there's always longer. Then you compare to someone shorter, there's always shorter. But I would say over 10 years is a substantial amount of time and you're still in the game, right? Whereas a lot of people have started and stopped and quit because it's too hard. So please, come on, pat yourself on the back.
Let's talk about, you said you're still in the game, which I love. So I'm reading this book called Principles by Ray Dalio at the moment.
Yes, I read that, book. And it's actually a bit complicated. Like it took me a lot of focus. It takes a really smart person to digest that book. It's so thick and so much, and you're like, I think I need to read 10 times that same passage again.
It's good. I mean, every time you read it, you pick out something new. And one of the things he talks about is reframing failure. And what I really like is he says that in business or in life, what you want to do is you want to experience failure so that you learn, but not fail so much that it takes you out of the game. Right?
So set yourself up to win as well, huh?
Yes. And to learn.
For me, I was a single mum. I was just desperate to get out of my own corporate job and just do something for my son. But the longer in the game, you realize so much benefits, apart from the employment you give to your staff. But now I'm able to buy things for my parents or take them on holidays and stuff. And it's so worth fighting for, you know, all that hard work and you cannot. I feel like you can't do that when you have a job because you can only make so much to kind of take care of your own self or your family. But business kind of creates this opportunity that the ceiling's unlimited. So what's your kind of some of the cool things you've been able to do, and I know you have. And you can brag about it. It's okay. I asked. I didn't. You didn't just start telling me.
I'm going to get philosophical now. People say that you stand on the shoulders of the people that came before you, right? And I think that, again, this is one of those things that's really easy to say, but really difficult to understand. And so my parents came from Vietnam to Australia, and they gave me the gift of learning and education and knowledge. That's a value inside my family. I said, you can always start again, and it'll carry you far.
Yeah. You've got great parents, by the way. They're very wise and good.
They're the best.
Yeah,
I'm very lucky. And so with that, I've been able to go to have amazing educational experiences, grow up in a stable country, explore many facets of myself, sport, academia, performing arts, just everything. And from that, I've been able to start a business.
Yep.
You know, they say it's risky, but you start from a position of strength.
Yep.
And then from there, through business, I've been given the gift of leadership. How to be the best leader I can be. How do I show up for my team? How do I show up for my clients and my customers? But most importantly, how do I show up for myself? And the gift of leadership, I think, is probably the best gift that I've been given that I can share with others, because it empowers people to live purposeful lives. It is empowering. It is powerful.
Yeah. I love that. So what you're saying is it's not just the material gifts that you're able to do for people. It's the legacy. It's almost the, how do I teach others to fish like me, or to be able to take care of themselves and others just like I've been able to do.
Yes. How do I show up and be the best version of myself for others? That's loving, that's kind, that's supportive. And then what ripple effects will that have? Yeah.
You lead by example, and it's not just like, I want to make so much money so I can go and buy them a car and whatever, because then you're not really instilling that leadership.
Right.
That, because leader, like for me, what I've learned is, as a leader, I'm not just like bossing people around leading. I'm like, you know, because you know, people don't understand what real leadership is. But even being able to control your own emotions and being sane during hard times, and that's what leadership is, right? Yeah. So tell me now about where you are in your business career. Like, how's WeTeachMe in terms of what are you doing there, and what's your plans? What's your mission in life for the rest of your, you know, I don't know, decade or a few more decades that you might be able to foresee?
The response to that really comes down to how we define success, right? So for example,
what does success mean to you?
What is success to you?
Wow. For me, I think I always answer is just being able to do what I've always wanted to do whenever I want to do with the people I know. It's a bit cliche. People do say that, right?
No, that's
yeah.
What does success mean to you? Let us know in the comments. Right?
Yes, let us know in the comments below. Because obviously back then, success is when I was, you know, new to business. It was all about materialistic things. Okay. Of course, no, I knew I wanted to give back. That was another thing. But, you know, success for me, it's happiness too. It's just wherever I am, I want to feel like I've tried my best and I'm really happy about that. And I would never sell my soul or be unhappy for the pursuit of a goal. And if I feel like I'm able to balance all the important part, like there's no success if you have money and then no relationship, or success if you are unhealthy, and, you know, so it kind of needs a full, for me, success is when you've tried your best in every area of life and you're content of where you are, and then you keep progressing. How about you?
Let me absorb that.
Yeah. It's a little bit like Philly.
If we could summarize that in one sentence, what would that sound like?
For me, success is trying your best to live the life most authentic to you, but also bettering yourself. You know, it's not like actually getting to somewhere either. It's kind of in the journey of it. The journey. But happiness kind of plays in there well. I know it's really hard to explain. I just know the feeling, but I can't describe it in the words. Tell me. Yeah. Maybe you can have a better way of articulating it.
I liked what you said about success in terms of family and business success. And one thing which I believe with all my heart is no amount of success in life will ever compensate for a failed family.
Oh my God. Just listen to that again. That's amazing. Yes.
Yeah. And for me, I think success is a very personal thing. And it's important that we all have clarity as to what success means to us. For me, it's the quality and depth of my relationships with others.
Yes.
Above and beyond everything else.
Yes.
It is, my relationships are what I cherish the most.
Yes.
And I spend a lot of time and energy in servicing that.
Yeah. I think you've just really reminded me of what really means a lot to me. Like, when I said I like to balance it, but there are certain areas that is just so much more important than anything, right? Like relationship with my family or my husband or my friends. And that's way more important than me looking hot, if you know what I mean. Do you know what I mean? Like, yes, I like to work on those areas.
But self-love is important.
But I would, what I'm saying here is like relationship is just really, really important. It kind of is the core. And then, but of course you always try to better yourself in the other ways so that you feel challenged and good. So we get what success means for you now, but what's moving forward for you in terms of business? Like, you've built a business now, and then you started a few business as well. And so, what's your business journey like, and what do you want to achieve for the rest of your life?
I'm always of the view that we never really know everything, right? We don't know what we don't know. And so the trick for me in life has always been, how do I stay in the game and surround myself with extraordinary people and smart people, right? Not only smart people who agree with me, but also smart people who disagree with me.
Challenge me.
How do I make sure I'm constantly in rooms where I'm not the smartest person in the room? How do I live a life where I am exposed to ideas and people so that my dreams of tomorrow will be bigger than my dreams of yesterday?
So you kind of go with the flow then. Every day, as long as that's what you're feeling and that's what life's giving you, you're happy.
Absolutely.
And wherever that takes, it takes.
And let the opportunities reveal themselves along the way.
Okay. But one thing as I was speaking to you, how I've started a new company, and I'm like, oh my God, I don't think I can start up again. I think if I could answer that question that I gave to you, is that I would love to just maybe be the leader, advice, and help others step into that role of entrepreneurship. I think that's where I see myself moving forward after this business, that I'm like the entrepreneur. Is that for yourself as well, in terms of where you see your business journey, where you might not want to initially start something, but you want to, falls in line with the leadership thing that you really enjoy doing?
The highest compliment I believe that a leader can ever receive is to know that they're no longer needed.
Beat that. Love that.
I really believe that. I don't need people to say congratulations, you did a great job. Oh my God, look at what he's done. Yeah. The highest compliment that I could ever receive as a leader is to know that my team don't need me anymore.
That is the goal of a business owner. And I've only learned that in the last year or two because of my ops manager coming in going, that is my goal for you. I want you to get out. And now that I got out, I know how good it feels. And being able to frame that the way you see things, it's so good. Because especially in the game of outsourcing, we have a lot of business owners who are stuck in the business. They think they need to control everything so everything goes right. But your challenging here is, our goal is to make the business so good and the people so good that it doesn't need us.
I mean, let's take the counter argument. Let's say we are extremely type A and we need to be all over everything. And we need to talk to all the clients. We need to oversee every single process inside the business. Sure, the business will look exactly as you want it to, but aren't you going to get bored? Don't you want bigger challenges? Don't you want to launch different businesses and go on crazy adventures and spend more time with your family and shepherd the next generation in?
Yes.
Don't you want to do all that? And if you keep doing what you do now, doesn't sound like a fun life to me.
Yes. Oh my God. This is going to lead us to more topics like, how do you find the right people to take over your business? Well, guys, we could talk for ages, but love to hear in the comments below if you have any questions for Kym. You can connect with him on LinkedIn, and I'm sure if you Google him up, there's lots of other places.
Yeah, we'll put all the links there.
Yes. And WeTeachMe is still around, so do check out some of those classes. But thank you so much, Kym, for your time today. And we'll catch you again in the next episode. Bye.
Bye.